have target lock. Shut down your drive, prepare to be boarded. Come.
He's happening, boss man.
For the shut up.
Good to see Ashford again. Fuck. Whoa! Fire. Nice to see he's recovered.
Radiation fighting.
Evasive action! They're dumping core!
Whoa! Who's that?
He built us out of the ring. So they find the gold first. Leave us with dirt. And you help them.
Oh, fuck.
Rocinante, you are entering the ring blockade zone. Please transmit your access code.
Roger that.
Donkey balls. Oh! Motherfucker!
How am I doing?
Good. Bone density, muscle mass, heart to lung capacity, all that.
The legitimate claim of our people. Their co-built as terrorists to shivers of our rights. We all lost family on Ganymede because of the Illus war. Yeah. Illus is our home now, and we will not be driven out again.
Keep going.
Shit. Oh! Hello, Camina. What's going on with her legs? That's what I want to know.
Oye, Nagata.
Hey!
Good to see you, Kopeng. A bit of a surprise to be seen. One big happy family now, I guess.
You've been busy, eh? Over 40 Rincon relays installed to date, I gather.
42. Which...
With Medina Station on the hub of it all. It's a good command.
On the gas station on the new frontier.
You're bound for Illus.
You hear how many of those refugees died trying to adapt? A lot of them had to go back up to orbit. They were foolish to think they could live there.
It's not foolish to want free air and free water and a home for their children.
We are creatures of space. In 2 generations, their children will be in us.
Everyone should have the right to decide for themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course.
They're gonna be at odds.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Captain. We'll see you on New Terra.
What the fuck is that?
We're through the ring. Be on Ellis in a few weeks, then what?
I'll let you know. Thanks for the ride.
What are we supposed to... Wait!
Wait. Are we following Miller? Pause. That is the first time we have seen things from Miller's, Proto-Miller's perspective. It was really similar to the way that Katoa saw Dr. Evil back in season 3, when it was his, you know, he was seeing the sort of the nerves, the electricity, the energy. That was really interesting. Those of us who saw something significant in that blue sort of wave that went into Jim's face at in the I think pretty much the final shot of the last season, I think we've been validated our suspicions have been validated by that scene, because it looks like when that happens, it is Proto-Miller, or the proto-molecule, basically like opening a channel, kind of entering him. And that was really strange. That really looked like a travel sequence there for Proto-Miller, in that he interacted with Jim, he pulled away, and then he vanished to the other side of the whatever the fuck. Oh my god, I'm going to so have to watch this episode again. Well, I will, because I'll be editing it, so I'll watch it like 5 times. Play.
Got something you want to say to me, sailor?
Yeah, why do you keep hanging around?
Got ripped about 6 months back. They told our whole unit, hey, thanks for the memories. Y'all civilians now. I had a promotion coming up too.
That's the shit end of the stick.
You should know. I watched your hearing on the feed.
It's what a Marine does.
First they order you to lie, then they strip you of your pension, your skin, when you put honor first.
And he doesn't bitch and whine when the chips are down. But the problem is you've got too much time to think. It's making you crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Me crazy? You look like you about ready to Vincent Musco for looking at you the wrong way. You're not exactly the poster girl for mental health.
I didn't vent yours.
Oh, bleeding heart. You were inside that ring station, what'd you see?
Nothing that would make sense. Except a bunch of people killing each other to control something they didn't even understand. Hang on to that uniform, keep him tip-top. You can be damn sure there are plenty more wars coming.
Belta Loda would be wise to ask, if now we kill our own on orders of the Inners, is this peace worth the price? The OPA does not speak for all, and those who stand with Fred Johnson and Anderson Dawes should bear in mind the inevitable fate of Wellwala and collaborators.
Yeah.
Transmit your access code immediately.
Bossman, they target lockers.
Is he off grid?
Tynan, this is your final warning.
Give it to them.
Code verified. Tynan, you're cleared for the ring.
What? We have enough problems already without you agitating the inner.
Well, they like humiliating us.
You have to trust your gut.
Well, the last time I did that, it didn't work out so well, did it?
We were all flying blind, Pampa.
Yeah, well, me more than you.
Only because my friend had a boyfriend with an imaginary friend who told us how to power that station down.
I thought he was a madman. He turns out to be a prophet.
It's possible to be both.
That's cute. Whoa.
We're making history.
Maybe you will. This planet has no geological activity.
I was with the Hygeia group when we found some belters squatting on a rock with 1 billion in platinum ore that we had the...
Carl Tanner from Gin Alley, drinking wine from the skull of Geo. Fucking Mormon.
Oh my god!
Charter for. Oh, that you got a legal charter from the UN and Mars, so...
You think the OPA give a shit about that?
No, I do not.
It's the British!
You're about to be famous.
Bet the rocks down here look just like the ones back home.
Hey, I name a new bug after you.
Oh, balls! Oh no! God! I'm having shed flashbacks.
Trust me, we're all gonna be just fine.
Oh shit! supplies! There's all their supplies! The fuck? Oh my god, that was terrifying. I need to know where they're filming this. I want to know everything now. Shit. Oh mate, that's the Irish guy, innit? That's the guy who was talking to Jim as well on the thing. Oh Jesus wept. This is fuckery of the highest order. What happened though? Oh, they're helping. See, again, the Belters are helping.
23 of our people are dead, including the mission commander and the ship's physician.
Shit.
The lift shuttle was destroyed along with most of the expedition's supplies. Security Chief Murtry refused evacuation and is now in operational command of the expedition. Cause of the crash is currently unknown.
The Belters are providing what aid they can. Just get yourself to Elis, do your job, and let RCE do theirs. The Belters will try to enlist you to their cause. Holden, do not put your dick in it. It's fucked enough already.
Good advice.
Oh my god, I can't believe this. Naomi's gonna be on the fucking ground on the earth. In 1G. Please, no, please don't let this happen to the Rosie now. Whoa! They look like shark fins. What's this game? We're fine. Oh, this could be so weird for her. Look at Jim's face though. This is amazing. My God. ocean? Is it a river? What are we even looking at? A lake? Wow. This is like Earth 2. Did you guys ever see that? I'm in. I am in. I want to be there.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
It's our land, huh? This built our land.
Nobody's doing anything to anybody.
We're here to help.
Welcome, Coach Away. I'm the administrator of the settlement.
Jim Holden.
Captain Holden. Chief Mercury. Welcome to New Terra. Come with me, I'll give you a lay of the land.
Good to meet you.
Hey, you here for help us? I am there.
All right.
Traitor!
Oh.
Traitor! Traitor!
What the fuck?
I've got 2 seconds.
For shame you got 1! What the fuck is that?
It's the fucking... It's the shadow monster!
Take cover!
Oh shit!
You okay?
What the fuck? Is it like a murmuration of insects or something? Look like the snow monster from Lost.
What the fuck was that?
Hey, you okay?
I have no idea. Oh. Killer moths? Whoa! Protein molecule, something or other, innit? Shitting hell. What amazing. Oh, sorry, I'm stuck watching this now. This is... Wow! 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 Wow, 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 fucking wow, 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 that was absolutely amazing! Jesus! I was all preparing myself for like it to feel slower. We just come off a hurricane of a season 3 and that felt fantastic to me. I'm so impressed. It's clearly got more money going into it. That pleases me. The space battles have always been amazing. They are my favourite space battles in any sci-fi. That's for sure. I think they've just taken the sort of old-fashioned space battle of I'm just chasing you and going pew 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 and completely revolutionised it with, you know, there's strategy, there's tactics, there's, you know, the use of gravity and it just, it's on another level. But what it was something to see that elevated even further by just extremely good CGI. It really, that was fantastic. And obviously we just got more time then. We also have more time in space and more time in the battles and exchanges and stuff like that, which I really appreciated. What I did not appreciate was that Bobby is not on the Rocinante. She'll find her way back to us. She'll find her way back to us. I don't get it. Honestly, Mars, they're supposed to be so utilitarian. I don't understand why they wouldn't be making the maximum use of Bobby Draper. Seriously. She knows so much about what's going on. She's got relationships with all sides. And they have fucking demoted her, not demoted her, they kicked her out. It looks like a dishonourable discharge because she wouldn't toe the party line at whatever the fuck hearing they put her through. And now she's a mechanic and she's got no pension. But in typical Bobby style, I feel like Bobby is like a truer Martian than any of these other Martians. Because even with all that kick in the face, and you can see she's down, you can see that she's struggling, but she is still holding herself together with her ethos and her value system. But I'm still pissed, and I need Bobby to be back in space as soon as possible, because this frankly is just offensive that Mars are wasting her to this degree. No offence to engineers and mechanics, that's what Naomi Nagata is. She's a fucking hero. But that's not the job that you should have Bobby in. Bobby needs to be busting chops. We need her on New Terra. We need her in her fucking onesie, her power onesie, sorting shit out. Oh, I'm gutted. I'm gonna need her. I'm gonna need her back in space. I'm gonna really struggle with the Bobby storyline. I'm telling you now. It's like. It's so unfair. That's the thing that gets me about it. It's so unfair. She has been a better Martian than bloody anybody. Ugh. So Bobby's down. I'm not sure whether to trust that guy that she was having the beer with or not. It seems like a pretty good way to kind of infiltrate and get information out of her by having someone, you know, come to her with this sob story, looking to sort of bond over their mutual mistreatment. And I liked her circumspect reaction to that she didn't just kind of bite. That's what I mean about Bobby. She's just fantastic. So there's Bobby. She's off in the wilderness, effectively. I'll talk about the sort of peripheral characters first. Avasarala has set herself an extraordinary mission, which is she's basically trying to keep order. She's trying to stop people going through the belt, ostensibly for their safety, but let's be honest, there's also the geopolitical elements to this too. She doesn't want Earth to suddenly become uninhabited or to lose, and probably Mars and Earth don't want to lose their places, their preferential kind of power positions. Shit is tough enough with them having to deal with each other in the belt, let alone a whole 1,300 new planetary systems. You know me, I can always climb inside someone's point of view, and you know I love Avasarala. I can bitterly disagree with her and still absolutely adore her. So I do disagree with her on this one. I never imagined she'd do anything different. That's the thing, and that is the response I would expect from the establishment of any order anywhere in the face of, you know, the disestablishment of the order, because you've suddenly got a massive free-for-all. It's exactly what Britain did with the United States. It's what many colonial powers did, and we all know what happened to them. So it's always what they do, and it always fails, because you can't repress human nature and human curiosity no matter how hard you try. And ultimately one of these ships is going to get through, which it did. One of the Ganymede ships made it through. They've got now this home on New Terra, and I'm with them. I gotta be honest, I really am with the refugees on this one. No one fucking wanted to take them in, so you're stopping them escaping, but you're also not providing any kind of real opportunities where they are. And you know, so what if the risk is theirs? If they get there and they die, they die. That's the risk that they've taken. You know, we're all adults. So I kind of feel like it should be their decision if they're going to be pioneers, and not someone else's, especially if there's someone else isn't in a position to make their lives any better or create any opportunities for them. You know, I think it's a no-brainer if you're a refugee. As Terra, but it tells you something about the state of their circumstances, because it's not like they're not thinking to themselves, oh God, we could die, we could burn up in the atmosphere, there could be no food. You know, it's not like those aren't going to occur to those people, but that's the level of desperation they're in, because they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. But at least with this route, there's a clear path to opportunity for them. It's like, well, if, you know, we actually work our tits off and, you know, play smart and do those things, then we will actually have a home that's ours. I'm with them. But obviously we've already seen there is some shit going down on New Terra. There is evidence of the protein molecule in the form of the shark fins. And we've just seen the smoke monster from Lost. I think I called it something like, what did I call it? Like the shadow monster or something when it happened. I was so shocked, I'd lost all my English. So I'm keen to see what goes down on New Terra. It was properly emotional, actually, to see our crew step foot on New Terra. I'm not going to go again. This is pathetic. That was really moving to see them land on New Terra, particularly kind of from the central kind of focal point of that moment was Naomi's. Because I think, you know, Naomi wants a home. I don't think Naomi shares Kamina's kind of view that, you know, you're only a belter if you're in the belt. The moment that you have a planet, you become an inner, indistinguishable from the other inners, which is something that happens quite a lot. And I think it's a challenge every group that's found its unity in oppression has had to deal with. Because there is something about that shared, you know, the scarcity, the shared oppression, those things, which drives a communalism that you may not necessarily be able to retain in other circumstances. It also creates, you know, a grit and a strength of character that might not be created in other circumstances. And that's always the difficult one. If, like, you often find, you know, people develop, you know, incredible levels of empathy, solidarity and courage through adversity. But obviously we don't want to continually put people in adversity. The aim is to have people thriving. But one of the things we know about people who've never had adversity is actually they can often lack empathy. Not through necessarily any fault of their own, but just a lack of perspective, a lack of understanding of what life is like with nothing, you know, with struggle, with oppression in it. So that's really interesting. I'm really keen to see how that plays out actually with the development of the belt. I'm sure I talked about this in the past actually. I think in season 3 I was talking about it, about what the impact of the belt on the belt would be of now there would be sort of rich belters or senior belters and mucker belters, and that gap between the highest belter and the lowest belter would start to naturally expand, and that looks like that the continuation of that storyline as we move on, which I'm very happy about because I think that's fascinating. Kamina is healing, her spine is healing, that's fantastic. We saw a bit of Ashford, he's pretty disgruntled, he's still not over the mistakes that he made at the end of last season, and I would absolutely expect that. I think Ashford actually takes leadership really seriously, and he knows that had he succeeded, it would have been the end of humanity. And I don't know how you ever get over that, to be honest. Of just like, wow, if it wouldn't have been for people literally physically beating me, humanity would have ended. That's who he was in that moment. He nearly became the ender of mankind. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. So I'm glad that they're writing that in for him. Kamina seems a bit sort of just like she's going through the motions. She's lost Naomi. Yeah, they're friends, but we know that she's deeply in love with Naomi, and now they're also going to be on opposite sides of the debate about the future of the belt, which I think was always on the cards, because they actually always had pretty different views about the belt's place. You know, that what they agree on is, you know, the common enemies, but in terms of the articulation of belter civilization, I think they have very different interpretations of that, and always have. Team Rosie. Oh, just before I forget, because it keeps coming every time I move into another thing, she pops into my head. Anna, we heard her referenced in this episode in Amos's conversation with Melba, who is in the clinic. So she saved mankind, and I feel like, you know, Bobby and Melba really got the fucking shitty end of the stick with this, because they both actually were absolutely instrumental in saving humanity, and they have been shat upon from a great height. So free the Melba one. We need to free Melba. I'm not happy about that. We did hear Anna reference, but we didn't see her, so I don't know if Anna's going to be in this season or not. I hope she's back on Earth. I hope that gives us... I really want her to serve as like an anchor for civil society on Earth, which we really don't see much of. I really liked actually seeing Civil Society of Mars this episode. That was great. I feel like we're going to get that this season, though, because there are... The questions that are being asked this season are very different than previous seasons. I feel like this really is a question about society. This is more about society, I think, this season. How you build one, how you maintain one, all of those questions, which makes me really excited. And that brings us to the Rosie. Amos be Amos. I love him. I just love him. I don't know what else there is to say. He brings me so much joy. He's probably working up to be my favourite character now, to be honest. I've realised. It started happening at the back end of season 3. Yeah, for now we're going to pencil in. For the moment, from this episode 401, Amos has become my favourite character. With Bobby a close second, and it's difficult because we never saw Vassarala for so much. You know, we've not really had a proper Vassarala for a bit, so give her time. Really interesting. We didn't really get a massive amount of Alex this episode, but I did enjoy his interaction with Bobby. I feel like there was a slow burn ship going on there, but we'll see. Bit of an age gap. Not quite entirely sure of Bobby's sexual orientation, but we'll find out. Obviously, we're clear on Alex's because he's made that abundantly clear over time. I love Naomi's development, and I've touched on that with Kamina. I love her relationship with Jim. It's really nice to see that going strong. And, you know, the most interesting thing I think going on with Jim is that his, you know, the way that Proto Miller is communicating with him, we don't really know yet, but it looks like he is in his mind. Somehow the proto molecule is in his mind, is downloads, or, you know, we don't really fully understand it, but I'm still kind of stuck on that moment we had of, there was some, it almost looked like, remember that episode of Star Trek where Tasha Yar died? And sorry, I'm not going to do a spoiler alert on The Next Generation because it is so old now. There's got to be a limit to spoiler alerts. But Next Generation, the episode where Tasha Yar dies, and it's that black goo.
Very good, Tin Man.
What is it, number one? What are you seeing? Trouble.
That was what that proto-molecule thing was reminding me of this episode, because we saw another version of the thing that Jim saw, which he described as the end of everything. We saw the control station again inside the ring. It did its blue thing, but then there was the Tasha Yar goo thing, and somehow that was connected. That kept that scene repeated again with Jim in that Miller moment. I'm not articulating this very well, but those of you who are watching it keenly will know what I'm trying to refer to. I think it will make more sense when I've watched it back through, so if I've got any other thoughts once I've edited, I'll put them here. I will conclude on a Vassarala, because what I also enjoyed this episode was Vassarala's swearing, which I feel reached a new level. And I have watched and enjoyed Vassarala's swearing throughout all the prior 3 seasons of this show. But that line with Jim of "don't put your dick in it, it's fucked enough already," that is flat out the best swear that Vassarala's delivered, and she's delivered some fine swears, but that was really something. That was very, very vivid. Very vivid. Oh, and then we got these new people. So we had also the Edward Israel ship that something came out of the sky. I tell you what it reminded me of. It reminded me of the probes when they were going down to Venus and they were just burning up and being torn apart. But it didn't happen to the Rosie when the Rosie landed. But then they did see that murmuration of whatever the fucks that cut through everything. And I'm wondering if you had a big enough bunch of those, could they have done that? Was that what happened to the Edward Israel? I don't know. I have no idea. But I thought that was pretty fucking cool. I really did. I loved the effects. I absolutely shat myself when that murmuration thing started. I really did. It took me right back to Lost with the smoke monster. I loved that. Like, look, I was all aglow. Look at these pristine waters. It really did remind me of Earth 2 with the little kind of colony hub things, all those octagonal shapes even. And then, boom. I just needed the sound effects, like, that will work for Lost fans. If you've never seen Lost, you will be like, what the fuck is she talking about? I'll put you in a scene. But yeah, that was fantastic. I loved every freaking minute of it. I'm so happy to be back on the Expanse train, and I will stay on it all the way through to the end of this season and forever, as long as they air this programme. I really hope you guys enjoyed this first reaction. It's really, really great to be back. I have missed you so much, it's not even funny. And until next time, bye bye.